From the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Brinker. There's a chance of scattered storms tonight. Those clouds are making their way from the southeast and will most likely be here close to 8 o'clock tonight. We'll have more on the upcoming storms when weather comes up later in the show. Governor Sam Brownback has cut the Kansas education budget, and one Lawrence native gave him a piece of her mind.
I just printed out his receipt and I thought, I'm going to cross out my tip line. And then I said I should write tip the schools.
Waitress Chloe Huff served Governor Brownback at a restaurant in Topeka. Huff says this was her drop the mic moment as she left her job. Due to Brownback's education funding cuts, McLouth School District is the newest school district to join the list of early closings. McLouth School District will close 4 days earlier. McLouth is expected to lose $75,000 with the new block grant funding. The early closing saves the district $65,000. The school district isn't sure how it will make up for the rest of the budget cuts. Concordia, Shawnee Heights, and Twin Valley will also close early. Tonight, the Lawrence City Commissioners will discuss the 2016 budget. Departments including Parks and Recreation and Public Works want more funding. The City Commissioners will consider a tax increase for 2016 to help pay for additional funding. Students are invited to make their voices heard.
Students are a big part of our community here in Lawrence, and so we want their feedback as well, of course. And the budget, all of that is structured on budget priorities. So it's good to come and listen, see what those priorities are, if you think they should be prioritized a different way.
City Commissioners will discuss the 2016 budget for the next several months. Along with the budget, the City Commission approved $130,000 worth of sidewalk repairs. The Commission shows 13 locations. Some of those include 19th Terrace from Ostall to Naismith Drive. Vice Mayor Leslie Soden said good sidewalks are good for safety.
So just having, sidewalks that are in good repair and then street lights that are functional as well is just really important for public safety.
The Commission proposes the use of federal grant money to pay for the work. Some Kansas legislators are looking at privatizing KPERS, the state pension system, this session. 3 committees will meet today to discuss the issue. The committees will decide whether or not to privatize the pension system's assets and liabilities. The state currently doesn't have enough to pay out all the state employee pensions. Privatizing the pension by selling the assets to private companies may help it become solvent.
Overall, it seems to incur quite a bit of risk for a modest amount of return. It does put the system on better financial footing, and so you can be somewhat more assured that the state will have the money to fund KPERS well into the future.
KPERS' unfunded liability is nearly $10 billion. The pension system has 289,000 active and retired members, which include employees at KU. KU Sexual Assault Task Force, finally gave its recommendations to the Chancellor. The list consists of 27 suggestions, including requiring all freshmen, including those in Greek life, to live in dorms their first year. It also asks for the university to create a sexual assault prevention center and educational programs to prevent on-campus rape. The task force, comprised of students, staff, and faculty, asked the immediate implementation of their recommendations. You can find the full list at sataskforce.ku.edu. Coming up on KUJH News, your weather forecast. Plus,
I just think it's up to you if you want to change.
see
And
one
you just have to
student's
get your
journey on the
mindset
road to
there.
transformation. That's after the break. One of 2 men killed attempting to carry out a mass shooting in Garland, Texas, has ties to ISIS. The shooter posted a tweet pledging loyalty to British ISIS fighter Junaid Hussain. His Twitter account has since been removed. The 2 men were attempting to shoot up a convention that encouraged people to draw Muhammad. Both shooters were killed by a traffic officer before they could carry out the attack.
We had one incident where the security officer was shot. He was shot in the lower leg, was taken to the hospital and treated and later released. He was the only one hurt in this incident yesterday.
Kansas City Star blogger Bill Tomas released a statement saying the rules against the drawings of Muhammad apply to Muslims, not to non-Muslims. On the other hand, respecting the sensitivities of all faiths applies to everyone. Tomas hopes that everyone on both sides of this issue can understand that. Garland police declined to call this incident a terrorist attack and say that the original intent is still unclear. New candidates join the 2016 presidential race.
Now I've introduced my family. You say, well, who are you? I'll tell you. I'm Ben Carson, and I'm a candidate for President of the United States.
Dr. Carson, a conservative and retired neurosurgeon, is the only African-American presidential candidate. In addition, former CEO Carly Fiorina officially announced her candidacy on Twitter this morning. She's never held a public office after losing the senatorial race in 2010. The number of official presidential candidates are up to 5, 4 of them Republicans. I'm joined now in the studio by Alden German for the weather. Alden, what's it like outside?
Well, it's very windy outside. I was just outside actually, and it is windy, to say the least. It is windy and warm. We do also have a chance for some thunderstorms later on this evening too. But first, let's take a look outside. And like I said, it was fairly windy today all day. And here is some footage of Jayhawk Boulevard. You can see Wesco Beach there is what we're looking at, Strong Hall. And right here too, this is just atop the hill there at Budig, looking down there by Budig Hall, and students there going about their business today. Let's take a look now at our outside, rather. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, we do have a chance for some rain. Let's take a look at that at our radar behind me. And you can see that the best chance for rain that we can expect is actually going to be later on in the evening. And it appears that we're having some troubles with our, oh, there's our radar actually. So if we can animate that, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The best chance for rain is going to be in the evening time. You might be able to see it, but down here at the bottom is a little clogged. You probably can't see that very well. But the best chance for rain is going to be in the evening times, overnight. Nothing too severe. The largest risk for that, severe weather risk rather, is going to be some hails possible and definitely high winds. Like I said, it's very windy outside right now, so if we get any of those storms tonight, we can expect that wind to continue. Here's a look now at your Tuesday planner for you. If you're waking up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., you can expect mostly cloudy skies. 62 degrees is what you can expect for that. And then as we go on throughout the day, temperatures are going to warm up just a little bit. Around noon it's 79 degrees, and then around 6 p.m. it's 77 degrees. And it's going to be fairly warm tomorrow as well. Here's a look at the next 3 days for you. Our high tomorrow is going to be 83 degrees. Again, like I said, with that chance for thunderstorms, but that'll mainly be in the overnight hours. There shouldn't be too much going on throughout the day. Our best chance for rain is actually, during the daytime at least, is actually going to be coming on Wednesday, high 77 degrees, again with that chance for thunderstorms and severe weather. And then also on Thursday as well, we have that chance there. And actually for the next 7 days as well is when we can expect to see rain chances. So I'll swap out the picture for you guys now, and you can get a better look at your 3-day outlook. 80 degrees on Thursday too, so the weather's going to be fairly nice and warm summer-like weather, and just that small chance for severe weather too.
Alden, thank you so much for the weather report. Weight gain can be a big problem for new college students, having less time to exercise and more time to snack. KUJH reporter Sierra Upton is live in the newsroom with more on the Freshman 15.
Thanks, Ryan. On average, students gain about 11 pounds during their first 2 years of college. And after that, it can be a hard and long journey to shed those extra pounds.
3, 2, 1. Stephanie So always struggled with her weight. But when she came to KU, she gained 20 pounds. I just think it's up to you if you want to change. And you just have to get your mindset there. In 2012, she saw a picture of herself and decided it was time to make some changes. So the next day, I put myself on that elliptical and I went for 30 minutes on the elliptical. It was the hardest 30 minutes of my life. Now, she's in the best shape of her life, losing a total of 50 pounds. The hardest part is definitely the eating. It's 70% diet and 30% exercise.
Stephanie's story isn't rare. An Auburn University study reports 70% of students say they packed on the pounds in college. Watkins Health Center has free education programs for students to help shed the extra weight.
There's so many options out there, so many different kinds of food, especially in Lawrence, so it's more of a freedom, go do your own thing, eat what you want, who cares thing.
You mean nutrition goes with fitness? That might be the one part that I'm lacking in. I do my best to do yoga, but sometimes school life gets in the way.
Stephanie says the newfound freedom of coming to college was her downfall. I kind of had a lot more freedom than I did in high school, so I went out a lot with friends, and that consisted of, a lot of excess liquid calories.
In 2013, almost 50% of KU students surveyed said they were trying to lose weight. Almost 26% considered themselves to be overweight.
They were always, in this environment where they had to be physically active, so now they have to learn a new style of being physically active on their own.
And Stephanie did just that. Now, she's paying it forward, teaching cycling and boxing at the KU Rec Center. I just want to impact other people's lives, and I want to motivate people to be the best they can be.
Watkins Health Center has several resources for students like the education programs and even a 6-week weight management program. If you're thinking about making a change, you can call Watkins at 785-864-9500 to take the next step. Back to you, Ryan.
Sierra, thank you so much. I'm joined now in the studio by Alana Flinn with KUJH Sports. Alana, I think that helping with a little bit of the freshman 15 might be to get out there and play some sports. Is that right?
That's exactly the way I would do it, and that is exactly how the Royals seem to be doing it, because coming up in sports, the Royals fall from their first place Central Division spot. Highlights of KC's loss to Detroit is next, and the KU track team will take a week off to prepare for the outdoor Big 12 championships. But first, we'll take a look at the successful home weekend for the Jayhawks. Sports is next. The Jayhawk baseball team was put away yesterday by a 10-point loss, thanks to the Baylor Bears, who took the win with an easy 14-4 score. The Jayhawks finished out the weekend series 2-1 against the Bears, with a win of 2-0 on Friday and back-to-back losses on Saturday and Sunday. Up next for the Jayhawks, a trip to Evanston for a game against Northwestern tomorrow. First pitch is slated for 3 p.m. It seems the Royals and White Sox drama may finally be coming to an end. Royals outfielder Lorenzo Cain dropped his appeal of a 2-game suspension on Sunday, which was handed out for a White Sox and Royals empty-the-dugout style brawl. Cain received word from the league office, who reviewed the fight from several angles, that the appeal would never go through. The Royals had the upper hand going into the third game of the weekend series against the Detroit Tigers with a 2-game win streak. But with Cain out Sunday, things started getting messy. Top of the fourth, Tigers up 1-0. Alex Avila singles on a line drive as Paulo Orlando misses the ball. Victor Martinez scores for the Tigers. That makes it 2-0 Detroit. To the 8th, Royals down 6-3. Kendrys Morales singles on a line drive to left field. That scores Alex Gordon, but it wasn't enough. The Tigers win the weekend finale 6-4. Next up for the Royals, a home series against the Indians. Game time on Tuesday is 7:10. To softball, the Big 12 not being too kind to KU, the Jayhawks have now dropped their last 5 conference games. The Baylor Bears shut out KU yesterday 7-0. Baylor's Heather Stearns pitches a 2-hit shutout. Alicia Pilley picks up her 3rd straight loss for KU. Up next for the Jayhawks, their last road trip of the season at Iowa State. First game is Friday at 4. The Big 12 and Southeastern Conferences announced an extension of the Women's Basketball Challenge into 2016 and 2017, but it looks like the Jayhawks won't be taking on the Missouri Tigers anytime soon. The extension includes all teams from the Big 12 and 10 teams from the SEC. In 2016, Kansas will take on Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and in 2017, Kansas will play host to Arkansas. The Kansas track team takes home 13 event victories at the Rock Chalk Classic on Saturday. It's the last home meet for the Jayhawks this season. Michael Stigler took the 400-meter hurdles and set a Rock Chalk Park record with a 48.86-second run. The women's team won 10 events, 3 from field and 7 on the track, while the men took home 3 track events. The Jayhawks will take this week off to prepare for the Big 12 Outdoor Championships on May 15th through the 17th in Ames. After rising to one of the NBA's top point guards, Steph Curry will reportedly be named the NBA MVP, according to ESPN. Curry's unbelievable accuracy from the arc this season has set him apart from any other player in the NBA. He averages 23.8 points per game and scored an NBA record 286 three-point field goals this season in only 24 NBA games. Curry is expected to receive the award before Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals. Ryan, to me, I'm pretty excited he's winning, because I absolutely adore him and he's done amazing this season.
See, I can understand how somebody, a sports type might be excited about that, but for a big nerd like myself, I couldn't be more excited than knowing that the next Star Wars movie is coming out soon, and I know I'm not the only one. Today's a special day for fans of a popular sci-fi movie series.
May the First be with you.
This is National Star Wars Day, also known as May the 4th. Students at the Union took selfies with bad guy Boba Fett. A half dozen costumed volunteers were expected for the event, but Boba Fett says he finished off his competition and was the only one left.
It's awesome. It's amazing. It's just like gives you chills. Their costumes are so great.
This is the 6th year for the event. Dining Services says it's hit or miss how many volunteers show up. So I know I'm absolutely psyched for Star Wars, but what's something coming up that you're excited for?
Well, personally, I'm more of a Star Trek guy than Star Wars, so yeah, I'll get into that battle with you. You know, you're not going to win it.
I'm just not interested in even hearing from you anymore.
Now
What's something that you're excited about, Alana?
Okay.
I'm pretty excited for a Royals game on Wednesday that I'm going to. So student night, $8 ticket, I'm calling it good. So
The lone Star Wars fan at the desk, it feels pretty lonely. That's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Right.
That was cool.